Then we also have Daniela Bear and Milan Shudoma, who are our main contacts in the Schindler's ARK competition, and I will give them word a little bit later. So all of you, as now you know, you have been selected as the best projects in the competition of the Schindler's ARK renewal. Congratulations. It's really amazing because there have been 150 projects registered and 240 students who worked on it, coming from 28 countries, which is amazing. And we were really amazed with the high quality of all the projects you have submitted, and all your projects are extraordinary. And about that, a little bit later, will be told by Danielle, who had been the chairman of the finals jury, because first your project had been selected by the whole board of the INSPIRELI Awards jury, which is more than 1,300 jurors, and they have pre-selected the finalists. And out of the finalists, there have been the final round with the jury of the Schindler's ARK, which was Daniel was in it, Milan as well, and then the Tugendhat family representative Ivo Hammer. Then we had the descendants of the camp survivors who are architects as well on the jury. We have a textile designer, another renowned architect, Ivona Halka, and Mr. Keneally, who wrote the book originally, was also on the jury. So it was a really nice pool, and everybody had come to a conclusion that you are the best four projects. I think Daniel will tell you more about the projects and why we have so many winners, because I imagine it wasn't easy to choose. So that is it from my part, and I would like to pass the word to Karel to just say a little bit more. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Mariana. And I'm really proud that we can see each other's on that online platform. And I have to say that this idea about this competition, it comes from our Vatican contacts, because INSPIRELI is connected with Vatican. We have jury members nominated by Vatican State, and it was a really big surprise for us that the people connected with this unique country, they connected us with Daniel and Milan. And I have to say that this topic is really unique, and I saw the movie for at least 5 times. So I'm really fan of history, and I knew a lot about it. And I have never think that I will be in touch with somebody connected with this place and with this touch of the spirit of that's history which belongs to our region. And I'm really proud that we could organize such a beautiful competition. And I was pretty sure that the winners and the winning project will be unique and out of any expectation, of course, because we know it whenever students are taking opportunity to design something new all time. It's always it is something special. And your projects are really beautiful. I like all of them. And I would like to highlight a little bit that really we have in our jury more than 1,300 jurors, and they help to nominate you. And it's really something. It's not just a competition with 5 jurors, but it's a common opinion about your talent. And it's something what I hope can help you in your future career. And one thing I have to add, before we started this competition, we had an idea that we all together will travel to Israel to stay in front of the tree, which was, how to say, put into the ground by Oskar Schindler himself. And we contacted Israel state, and they found investor who offered that they will pay the flight tickets and organize everything like that. unfortunately, the political situation, what is now happening in Israel, I'm personally afraid, not about me, but about you. We are responsible for you. So that's why we decided to cancel this opportunity. Maybe in future we will reopen it, and then we will organize it, because it was my wish to finish it that way. I hope that in future it's possible, but I hope that you understand that it's not, even for your mothers and fathers, it's not good to travel now. However, we feel that maybe we will try it. Yeah, that's my promise. We will try to organize it in future. And you are now a member of our INSPIRELI family, so we are now in touch forever, and you can use our power whenever you will feel that you need our help. So it's so okay. I don't want to be too long. So thank you very much. Congratulations, and Daniel, please. I think that now you are the most important man.
No, thank you. A huge thank you as well to all the young architects, because the idea is making a museum, which is to get the co-design of the next generation. And if you can't travel, we really would like you to travel to see the opening of the museum next May. So that's a little bit what we'd like to support, and that you do a little bit of work on the project plans. So it's a place that hopefully it stayed with our family for 150 years, and hopefully will stay with you, and you'll see the opening of it, and you'll be part of the Museum of Survivors. I got involved with it not through the Vatican, but I guess it's my grandfather who had this factory, built it in 1854. It grew to be one of the largest textile factories in Europe, and then I call it the heart of Europe, even behind the Iron Curtain. For us, it was always the center of Europe. It's where they could express themselves fully until 1938. There were two parts to our family. One was obviously interested in architecture because it built the Tugendhat Villa, and that really was an expression of the beauty of that period. It still, for me, looks like it's a house in the future. Its use of glass, its fluidity of space, but it was built as a home to live in, and to live in for 100 years. And so we have these two parts, which was a house and a factory. And in 1938, Europe's got to remember not to break apart, but it did in 1938. And the factory was stolen then by the Nazis, and then stolen by Oskar Schindler. And he created there a very unique concentration camp, which didn't kill people, but saved 1,200 people. It sounds a small number, but actually it saves the whole world. There's almost more now from their children, their grandchildren, than survived in that part of the world. And then, of course, it was discovered by Thomas Keneally, who's been judging all of your architectural campaigns. He was actually teaching about film in Los Angeles, and he had to change his briefcase. It was broken, and he went into a shop, and it was one of the survivors who was in the shop. And when he heard he was a writer, he said, like, this is the greatest story of the 20th century, and we need you to tell it. And wouldn't give him back his credit card until he kind of agreed to see the list, to see the testimonies, and start to tell the story, which shows how important it was for survivors to tell their story. And then when he produced the book in 1982, the same survivor in charge of this briefcase, he met, it was actually the mother of Steven Spielberg, and said, you know, you've done some good films. You've done Jaws, you've done E.T., but you're not going to win an Oscar until you do a film about Oskar Schindler. And he kept on going on. You need to find an Oscar. And over the next 10 years, he thought about it. He did take the rights, and then finally he made it. And not only was it a fabulous film, but he did win his first Oscar for Oskar Schindler in the 1990s. And I guess that's really when my father heard about the story of our factory, was reading the book, actually. And he read it one night and read it all through the night. And started to recognize this ruin, this factory in Czech Republic, the land which had been the center of our family for hundreds of years. And I remember him waking up in the morning. He actually looked tired, but he looked younger, as if he had kind of found a little bit of his childhood that he'd lost when he was young. And he said, you know, our factory was stolen, but it was used for good. And it's a story that's being told. And so I guess that's a little bit why I'm involved in it. And we were able to take back this ruined factory, and we're going to create one of the finest museums of that period. And it's starting a little bit now. I'll show you now. I've got a few just photo slides to show you. But we've done it very much as a co-design. It's a making a museum project. There's been school children from 7 countries that have learned the stories that happened there. Listen to the testimonies. There's 110,000 hours of testimonies of survivors telling the story. And they've done a little bit of a teaching curriculum. And then we're very honored to have young architects yourselves, which have contributed to the first bit of the design, and then it will continue the restoration of these places and a community around there, because it was a community which was really the best of Europe. It was a community of Czech speakers, but it was mixed. It's right in the center of Europe, and that's a bit what we want to bring back. So anyway, the jury, I was delighted just to tell you a bit about the process. The jury, it was a great jury, one of architects first of all, and then there was Thomas Keneally, who was the author of Schindler's List. He was incredibly impressed. Schindler's Ark is actually what he called it first of all. It was Steven Spielberg who wanted something more visual, and he chose a list. If you remember the names being printed out on the I'm not even sure that works now, but being printed on a typewriter. And the sound of it. Ivo Hammer, who restored the Tugendhat Villa. So a lot of our inspiration is from the building done by Mies van der Rohe with Lily Reich doing the textiles in Brno. It really is marks for me the center of Europe. It couldn't have been built anywhere else. For me, it's not really international style. It is from that part of the world, from Brno, from Moravia, using the artisans and glass and wood. The family, who hopefully you'll meet as well in May, of Joseph and Rebecca Bau, who are 2 of the most important survivors. They're the only ones who got married actually in a camp. And you'll see that scene if you see the film. And one of them happens to be an architect. A member of my family who's an architect, Zednek Berez, who is the architect on the project, and will host you if you can make it for a couple of weeks in Brno. Svetlana Kuliskova, who's a textile designer, and then Ivo Nahalka, who's a well-known architect who works with Cal, and they all really chose your projects as really an inspiration, the best among, as you mentioned, over 100 projects that went in. So congratulations. I thought I'd just show a couple of photos and then maybe give you an idea of a short video on the event we've just had, because that's what we're really trying to do, a festival to open next May, the 10th and 11th, the Saturday and Sunday. It will be when 80 years since World War II, so it will be an important moment. It's in that valley that Europe either comes together and has a festival or splits apart in war. So it's a little bit that symbolism you'll see. And we hope to we will open the first part of the museum. And we also would like to show your design examples as an exhibition. So that part of it would be working with the architect on the project plans for the next stage, and the other half will be installing your ideas so that they can be shown in the opening of the museum. And then hopefully that weekend also having some inspiration, meeting some people and enjoying yourself with other people, the locals you'll see, and people from throughout Europe that will come together. So maybe I'll just show a couple of the slides and then the video, and then I'll pass back and take any questions, and maybe then we can go individually through just to give a little bit of feedback from the panel. But I'll just show, first of all, if I can share I'll just show you a couple of, Can you see the slides?
Yeah.
So just very briefly, the project is making a museum. We're doing it with co-design, which means we take quite a lot of your ideas from the authenticity, from how to tell the story, and build them in over time. We were having an event which is really called Starting at Zero, because for our family it's starting at zero, and it's also bringing in some of the textiles. We have this art exhibition we've just done from Annie Albers. The spirit is really not to be a victim, but to see how we can make something out of the past and go forward. And she had to flee. She was the director of Bauhaus and just before Lily Reich and in textiles. And she said once in life, it's good to start from zero. And you'll see some of her work and inspiration. We lost some of those artists. They went to America and really created modern design in America. A lot of the work that's ongoing is saving the building. So that's why quite a lot was in restoration. And that's been a lot through 2024. It's really Milan is here who's been leading it together with Czech. We've got some Ukrainian workers. Those are also contributed by Helios with INSPIRELI, some of the bricks. I mean, incredible goodwill that a van came and donated some of the tiles for the roof, which we put into that roof. That roof is now being saved. The warehouse has been saved, so we can start to build in the museum. And the spirit is making a museum. As we've done it, we've had young students coming in to learn about the story, how to tell it, the events that occurred there. And we're incredibly grateful for you as architects. It's got a very unique story in that small space, from the splitting of Europe to the gate, where you can hear the stories of the survivors arriving. They arrived from Auschwitz to Brněnec. You can hear the stories of the Bau, of Joseph Bau, and how they were all involved in a partnership for saving people. The role of Emily Schindler. We're going to have the heir of Emily Schindler coming back. And it is the place where the ring was given, which was written on it, whoever saves a life saves the world entire. I guess for architects, it's whoever saves a building saves a piece of history. So maybe that's come a little bit into the project. And then this is what we're going to be opening, is the first exhibition hall, and it will incorporate many of these ideas. It's been approved. The warehouse has now been prepared, and it will open in May 2025, and that's what we'd like to invite you to it. You can see a little bit of the open plan and some of those ideas of leaving a part as wilderness. And it's got three functions. You can see the film, theatre in the place where it occurred. There'll be an exhibition where we'd like to show also your work, and there'll be a place for cafe. And that's really that piece. It's a huge thank you. And I'll show you an idea, because we did have a kind of dress rehearsal of some of the activities we were doing this June on the 25th. But we'd like, as part of the prize, maybe Israel is not the best place to go at the moment, as Carol said. We hope it will mark 80 years since the Second World War, and probably hopefully the ending of other wars as well. But 10th to 11th of May will be a festival, really in the heart of Europe. The people who have invited, who would agree to come, Thomas Keneally, he's very old, but he wants to come back to the place to explain the scenes of the film and some of his news stories. Erica Rosenberg, who's the heir of Emily Schindler, whose story we really want to show as well, his wife, and then the Bauer sisters. There'll be music of Schindler's List. We've got very good pianists, Martin Kazik and Jana Novatova, who's going to do the violin, and some of the songs of the Schindler survivors. We will do our new textiles since 1938. And there's some plays, so you will understand the story by the local community as well on their factory. And a part of it, we would like to open the museum and show your co-design inputs, show your exhibitions as the three winners, and also the honorary project. And then as part of that would be some work with the architect, however much time you can spare, to work with the architect on the project plans for the next stage, because this is the first warehouse. We still have the big Schindler's ARK building and the housing, and then some time on the site where you can then get to know the site itself in more detail, and install the first exhibition. The glass wall will be there, the new components. And that's really the plans going forward, and that's what we'd like to involve you with. I think as part of it, you're also now part of our design committee to see how this develops, so that you can have inputs, because it will be over the next 5 years that we build the buildings, we build the houses, step by step. We bring that place back. And you'll probably be able to see it for even longer than myself. So you'll be a permanent part of this place in the middle of Europe. So I'm going to now just show you finally if it works, the video of the event, so you get a little bit of a feel for it. And stop that bit. Have I got sharing of audio? Do you know? Let me just see if you hear this. Can you hear?
We are a group mixed of students by Norway, from Vienna, and from Czech Republic. People make buildings special. They make these buildings alive, feel alive, and because of the deportations, it's all lost. It's important to learn from our past. Recognize these things happen. But it's also important for us to stand together, because we can't just stand idly. So we don't know everyone who saved a life, because we can talk about people who just saved their family. So it doesn't matter how many lives you save, the disease and save the whole world. Children may command, be command. Everyone should have the chance to start at zero once in life. So these 4 artists all wanted to start at zero. The stars near and far, and the faces around the fireplace, in the flickering eyes of the wise. Feel your village as a bridge. It roots your flame. You name. In the red of its ember bed. So your flame fires higher and higher to touch the infinity of stars in the galaxy. Red rain, red rain.
Amazing video.
Okay, it is a kind of sneak preview of what you're invited to, which will be the opening of the museum. You heard some of the music there. There's people done the education that we'd like to show the architectural bit. You'll see a little bit of the textiles. And we'll also try and organize that you can see the Tugendhat Villa as well, but we do a tour a little bit of it as a home. That's really the feeling. We kind of tested it so it could work, but we think it could be even better on the 10th and 11th of May next year. Lots of work to be done by then, but I think it's a good moment. And I'll pass back to you, Mariana. I mean, then when you want to do the award of the certificates or something, I can give a little bit of feedback from the panel to each person, but that's a little bit what's ahead. So just passing that to you.
Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, so you have already been informed about what you actually won at, but I would like to say it anyways here as well. So we had originally 2 categories. First was the Museum of Survivors. Second one was the Sustainable Living Area. And yeah, it was so hard to choose that we actually have 2 winners in the category of the museum, and that's Luxin Yu and Wenke Dietermann from Germany. Congratulations, ladies. Would you like to tell us something about the winning?
Hi, I hope you can all hear us. So first of all, thanks in the name of both of us, I guess. Yeah, it is a big honor and we didn't expect to win. So the surprise was even bigger when we got the announcement, like the unofficial one. So we're still
really surprised.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. Congratulations. Great job. And I hope to meet you in person in May when you'll get to be here. And the second winner of this category of the museum was Alexandra Švarcová from the STU in Bratislava. Congratulations again as well, Alexandra.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm also very happy and grateful at the same time. And I would like to say also congratulations to the others, to the first and the third place. And it was really, really big journey. And I'm also very surprised. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. We will be happy if you made models, and that goes to all of you. If you make models, the 3D models, and you still have them, to bring them with you or send them ahead. Any other way, we'll talk about it later, so that it can be exposed along with your posters. That would be amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you too. And then the third winner is the Sustainable Living Area, which goes to Kosovo, to Sibora Ramadani, Eron Shala, and Bleranda Hikosmoni, Albina, and Albina Zenunai. I see we have 3 of you here. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's an honor, incredible honor. In fact, winning the 3rd place is a big deal to us, especially for a small country like Kosovo, but we were inspired. We were inspired from last year because the Kosovo students were not only finalists, but they were also the winners. So we were inspired by them. And we would like to thank also our professor, Mrs. Rozofa Bosha. She was our advisor and helped us very much with this project. And I would like to express our gratitude for this incredible opportunity. And it is very, very important to us. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Amazing. We are also looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully it's not so far so that you can come as well in May.
Hopefully, yeah, of course.
Great.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Congratulations again. You are all winners. You are all the best of the best. It was hard to choose just one. And then we also have architects from the FAU, from the university in Argentina. And that is Ana Belén Juarez and Emila Gutierrez Gonzalez. Congratulations to you as well, ladies. Your project was also so extraordinary that it deserved the honorary mention. And I will just say that this project was a winning design of the INSPIRELI Awards Urban Design category and one of the prizes as well. So congratulations again.
Thank you very much. It's nice seeing you all again. And we're really proud and honored to be here. And we wanted to say a few things, to greet our architecture project workshop in back in FAO, UNT Argentina, and our teachers that also all of them inspires us to, well, to be better and to always have some like poetry in our design. So that's something that makes the difference for us. So a huge kiss for all of them.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for all being here with us. This competition is definitely something really we are looking forward to, because it will be built shortly, and your names will be on the board, on the buildings of the museum as contributors. So you will forever be there. Plus your projects will be there, your models, if you get to send them, bring them with in May. And then we will talk more about the logistics of the May and you coming to work with the architect. We'll do that on the email. But I think it's now time to hear from Daniel about a couple sentences about each of the projects, why the panel chose it.
Sure. No, just a huge thanks. And actually, the winners were all winners. There was no ranking. So Kosovo, you're a winner. It's a joint. We think you all deserve joint first prizes. So you've all won that competition. And we also hugely like the Argentina project. And we write some poetry based on a little book of poems we have actually from one of the survivors, which he hid. And so we did recognize that. So we connected to the poetry that came in. So Luxemvenka, just a huge thank. I was actually arguing, Milan, if you're there, we were arguing with Milan about one of your points last weekend, which gave us confidence that we should leave some of the wounds of the existing building fabric in there. And we have a big kind of oil stain on one of the walls. And I wanted to keep it, and Milan didn't. And I was able to use your project to keep a little bit of the stains and the temporality on the thing, and giving us a little bit of confidence as well that ruins have potential and possibility. They're not just signs of danger, which I got it from you, and I also got it from a meeting I went to in Rome, where one of the biggest sites actually is just the ruins, and they build on top of them, they build around them. So that gave us a lot of confidence, and the temporality I think is going to be crucial when you see some of the bricks, some of the walls, is maybe to keep a bit of a transition in there that we will try and do, that we don't restore, we don't leave it completely, but you see it. And we have a bit that you'll see, a big glass window that hopefully you'll see, and beyond it is a place we've now defined as the wilderness, which is a ruined factory. It comes into you. And actually, the other person who influenced that is an Argentinian, a cook called Malman, who's an Argentinian who always says you have to have an experience of the wild, and he takes food out into the wild. So he's a big influence as well. I'm sure you know him from Argentina. So keeping a little bit of that wildness, that danger, that possibility is a great contribution. And you'll see in yours, there's a list of 6 things that we will include there, and it includes those components: sensitivity to the journey of the visitor. So we did feel a journey when someone comes in through the gate, and it's architectural, but it's also emotional. And there's a path which we've now managed to negotiate with the neighbor that's going to go to the railway. So there was a piece that we can build in from that. An echo room as well. The building you saw, which we've saved, we may well use sound in there now. Just the sound of testimonies, not the other senses, that you just go in and there's possibly even darkness, but you can hear the words. There's 110,000 hours of their stories. And then your physical models would be great, and you said to include them, so we will include them in the exhibition. So thank you. Any questions from you? Because I can see you listening, but anything else you want to slip in there to influence us?
We don't have something to add, but we just wanted to thank again that we had a little influence in the planning then.
Yeah.
Good, and it's just the beginning. I mean, it's actually helps in dialogue, but it has already, and there are bits we'll keep those points. Yes. And then Alexandra from Bratislava, which is very close by. It's great. It was great to see you, and people really did like the sensitivity you went around the restoration and the historical sources. Ivo Hammer, who did the restoration of the Tugendhat Villa, he's 80% restoration. Any surface, you have to touch it with your fingers before you kind of change it and get the materiality and the feeling of it. I remember he took some architects around there and with us. He wrote that little report that is very good, and they hadn't touched the surfaces and they hadn't respected the materials. So he liked that approach. And the balance you got between memories of tragedies and a place of new hope and life. So that's a real balance we want to build in. We got it from the school children as well, that the entrance should be a little bit claustrophobic when you come in through the door, and then it should open out, and there should be that architectural feeling. Amazingly, the old buildings somehow do that. That warehouse building is a place of light. The light comes in through the roof. Whatever you do, whatever story you tell, the light comes out. So we really appreciated that balance. And that you approached each visitor individually, both with the architecture and the displays. And we will keep the scattered tools, barrels, and wool that I think you mentioned. We may have an actual, just beyond that glass wall, just a glass cover in the floor where we put all the old remains in it that you can kind of walk over. We light it up. We'll see if that works. And then it was very useful for us as well, the analysis of the sites before and afterwards, your sketches. People thought was good. And then I guess, although the panel was a bit older, you talked a bit about Generation Z and combining activities from the past. And it's one of the things also with Milan. He's going to do a kind of trail in search of the ring in the buildings that we won't develop. So we'll see if we can build that in. So you've got the 6 points there, the tools, the balance of the dark events, but keeping the hope, the engagement individually. We'll obviously need to strengthen that. Oh, spaces for workshops was very good as well. We'll put in some textile machines, some looms, and so people can be engaged. Also film and actually making their own little videos of their responses, something active. The Generation Z was a good thing we have to think about, because they're no longer connected to the people who are no longer there, who don't have the lived experiences. But we do have some incredible testimonies where you can actually still ask questions of the survivors, even though they're not alive and it's interactive. So we have to see a little bit how we can build that, but that's a piece we will include. So thank you for that. And then the Kosovo, I have to go along a bit, the whole team there, which was, did I talk to you during was it with you that we had a teleconference before, during the preparation?
In the beginning, I think.
In the beginning
of the competition, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we liked your design. We obviously liked the design, both the kind of the shape of it, and then the way you used internal and external spaces. We do think we have to be careful with big buildings, but we did have Svenderer and then the Stuttgart piece managed to break it down, makes it modular, which we liked, but it has to create very sensitive spaces in between the buildings and that sense of community. And you balance well the size of the buildings, and they're quite substantial. So there will still be a lot of work on preparation for these pieces, and it will take a while. And then the modular design. We do really want to make it. We basically would like to have the Tugendhat Villa main room as an affordable modular design, which we think is possible. It's often presented as a luxury villa, and it wasn't. There's no gold in it. Of course, it was technologically had to solve a lot of problems, but in principle, It was a prototype that you can convert to something which is modular, and we think that could also be attractive for the whole setting and the site. And then your use of materials, and materiality again is obviously very important to us, wood and textiles, and using them to subdivide the place. So the 5 points we've got in there is the use of the buildings. We actually do like the size, and we'd like to give people access to the sky through the roof. There was a nice walk, but it's got to be done very sensitively, and creating communal spaces between them. The modular fluid design, the use of wood, the rotating panels to divide the space in a flexible way. We have a preference to use textiles, but you did it well as well with glass, and then the use of color in the glass, which we think adds to the lived experience. In fact, we'd even thinking of having a panel that could maybe change with the time of day to give a little bit that feeling of not using onyx, but a feeling of change of the day inside. And that's and sorry, those are the other pieces. And then we did hugely also like the Argentinian project, and you said it, the idea of poetry, which we think is somehow a very important part of architecture. And the axes you had connecting the places, the idea of community, and a sense of belonging. And we're going to open up our site. Actually, it's one of the pieces we work on Milan. Instead of opening it to the back, is to try and go through the walls so that it opens into the community in the village. And you'll see how we can maybe develop that piece in there. And we've cleared out, we actually just had a working party of architects who've cleared out that opening. You have the wilderness area. I was thinking of it already, but because of an Argentinian, Malmut, your cook who takes meals out, and he's in Patagonia, and he takes people to the middle of nowhere, and he takes food into the wilderness. So we actually had I had an idea, but you conceived it well, and there will be a wilderness area just beyond the warehouse that we open, and it's partly to leave it as ruined, but to give that sense of time and poetry. Also, practically, it's probably an area that the public could go into, and we could draw the village into that place when the museum is closed in the evening. The scaffolding transitions between the buildings were great as a concept. We haven't quite worked out how they could be included, but they were very innovative. And then your use of materials, water, wood, bricks, and the textiles we obviously liked, and the fact that they can flow as well. So you'll see, I didn't explain it, but the subdivision of the warehouse is going to be textile walls, and there'll be 2 textile walls in each subdivision, which gives you modular, you can open and close. It gives you absorption of sound, but also gives a kind of warmth to the place, which we think is missing in modernism. One of the most distinctive things of Tugend is actually Lily Reich, who gives textiles. But potentially you can also put some, if it's 2, some light, and maybe even some wind and fans behind it, so that there's a kind of magical effect, so that they move, so that you can get a luminous place quite simply, really. I mean, because in the end, we also have to be quite straightforward. So we'll try and build a little piece of that. And I think that was our last bit we had, which the sense of poetry and movement in the architecture, that it's not just fixed, it's got flow and textiles and connections to the community. And that's it. We will put those numbered lists together as well. So it's kind of, we actually have on the stories, we have some, and then we have a set from each of you, which we will put in. And they'll be part of a little bit what guides the architecture going forward. And just a huge thank you, and from the panel, who really enjoyed looking at your proposals. So that's the feedback. And if you've got any questions, now's your time as well, to ask any pieces, any questions.
Yes. Before anybody makes a question, I will just say that I think we'll make a WhatsApp group, and I will put it together so that we have the winners together, and I will be promoting it, and I'll write a press release. We will publish on some of our media partners. So I will share it in the group. Feel free to share it as well. Now it's official. Now you can talk about it. Now you can display your certificates. I think Jana already sent to you. There's also a winners gallery at the INSPIRELI.com page on the homepage, where you can already see that your projects are already in there. So feel free to use it for your own promotion. Tag us, tag the Schindler ARK Foundation as well. We'll be very happy to promote and cross-promote. And I will share the press release with you. Sometimes the winners also send it to the local media, because sometimes they react better to you when like a German is writing to a German media rather than me, Czechs, writing to the German media. So feel free to take the press release, some of your designs, and just send it there and be like, hey, write about us because we're great. We just won this, world competition among 28 other countries. So it's a pretty big deal. So definitely make a buzz about it, and we will be happy to reshare it and help you with it. And yeah, congratulations again. Thank you for being here with us. I think everything important has been said. Congratulations again. We will make the group. We'll be in touch, and we will let you know on the email all the details about the May and about your involvement regarding your prizes with working with the architect and coming to see the opening of the video, and hopefully meeting you all here in May.
And I just want to thank Milan as well, who's here. Maybe somehow we can see you, Milan, because he is in charge of the team in Brněnec, and it really is a lot of hard work. You'll see it step by step, just to be realistic as well. We will try and include parts of your ideas, but this will go on in restoring these buildings after the first piece for the coming years. But Milan, are you just to recognize the team and that they're building it piece by piece, and we're hoping to have the first bit. We will have the first bit for 80 years since World War II in May.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I think it's great what Mariana has just suggested, to create a WhatsApp group where we can communicate for the future. So I will send you some updates as we go along, and it will also great to have you here next May, even prior to the opening, just for some time to go through your projects, what we are doing, and working with the architect and with us a little bit. Listening to your ideas, maybe you come up with some more ideas when you are on the site. So we'll be really looking forward to cooperating for the upcoming year.
Great, thank you, Milan. Yes, I think, Karol, do you have any last words?
Yes, I hope that's not last, but I would like to say that the aim of this competition of competitions in INSPIRELI Awards is to give you a chance to participate on some real nice task and prestigious projects. And I hope that this is really prestigious and world-known story and world-known place and architecture. So it means that I hope that it will really help in your portfolio to open doors everywhere in the world. And I have to say that we are now opening 10th anniversary of INSPIRELI, and we are in touch with the winners from previous years. And believe me, you have opened doors everywhere in the world in any architecture studios, because to win the biggest competition in the world, it makes something. And it was the aim. Yeah, that's why we created, and we really push to make the biggest students architecture competition. This is because it's the only way how to help you. To winning students competition is not too much in interest of professional architects, but to win the biggest competition, it can make a lot. And even more, as I said at the beginning of my speech, you are a member of our team now, so we are with you, and we can help you with any contacts in the world you will need. And I hope that Anna and Emilia will come in May. We will do our best, because for them the flight tickets is absolutely incredible high. So we will do our best to help to bring you back to Czech Republic and to enjoy festival. So we will do our best. Yeah. So yeah, maybe Mariana, you have to finish it, not me.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think now everything has been said. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making time. Thank you, Danielle, for even giving us this opportunity to work on this amazing topic, because it wouldn't be without you. Thank you, Milan, for answering restlessly all the questions and pulling through so that we gathered all the documents we needed. And I'm very happy how it turned out. So congratulations again to all of you. Make a big buzz about you winning. We will as well. And we will see you here in May.
Okay.
Thank you much.
Have a great day, everybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Nice seeing you.
You save a building, you save the world. A world in that building, I think, is what I came up with when I noticed today. And I think there will be a world that comes back into that. Lots of stories and survivors. Thank you.
Thank you.
INSPIRELI.
Take care.
Thank you.
Safe travels everywhere.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Scordato.